thorn that you will find there and bring it to me.
Yes, Aslan.
Eustace returned a moment later. The thorn was a foot long and sharp as a sword.
Drive it into my paw, son of Adam.
Oh, must I?
Yes.
Then Eustace set his teeth and drove the thorn into the lion's paw. And there came out a great drop of blood, redder than all redness you've ever seen or imagined. And it splashed into the stream over the dead body of the king. At the same moment, the doleful music stopped, and the dead king began to be changed. His white beard turned to grey, and from grey to yellow, and got shorter and vanished altogether, and his sunken cheeks grew round and fresh, and the wrinkles were smooth, and his eyes opened, and his eyes and lips both laughed, and suddenly he leapt up and stood before them, a very young man.
Aslan!
He flung his arms as far as they would go round Aslan's huge neck, and he gave Aslan the strong kisses of a king, and Aslan gave him the wild kisses of a lion. At last, Caspian turned to the others.
Eustace!
Caspian.
Why, Eustace! So you did reach the end of the world after all. What about my second best sword that you broke on the sea serpent, eh?
But look here, Caspian. I say, I mean, it's all very well seeing you again. Mm-hmm. But aren't you... I mean, didn't you die?
Yes, he has died. Most people have, you know. Even I have. There are very few who haven't.
Not for you. For you, the door into Aslan's country is from your own world.
What? Is there a way into Aslan's country from our world too?
There is a way into my country from all
The world.
Oh my! Aslan!
Oh, Aslan! Oh, oh. Aslan, will you tell us how to get into your country from our world?
I shall be telling you all the time. But I will not tell you how long or short the way will be, only that it lies across a river.
Oh.
But do not fear that, for I am the great bridge builder. And now, come. I will open the door in the sky and send you to your own land.
Please, Aslan, before we go, will you tell us when we can come back to Narnia again? Please, and oh, do make it soon.
Dearest, you and your brother will never come back to Narnia.
What? Never? Oh, Aslan.
You are too old, children, and you must begin to come close to your own world now.
It isn't Narnia, you know. It's you. We shan't meet you there. And how can we live never meeting you?
But you shall meet me, dear one.
Are you there? In our world too?
I am. But there I have another name. You must learn to know me by that name. This was the very reason why you were brought to Narnia, that by knowing me here for a little, you may know me better there.
Oh, how tired their legs felt. Then at last, as they stood for a moment looking out towards the sea and Cair Paravel, the red sky turned to gold. Very slowly on the horizon came the edge of the sun. At that moment they heard from behind them a loud noise.
Oh! What was that?
I'm afraid to turn around. Something awful is happening.
They're doing something worse to him. Come on!
Oh, quick! Oh no! Look what they've done now! The table has been broken in two.
And where's Aslan? Oh, they might have left the body alone.
Who's done it? What does it mean? Is it more magic?
Yes, it is more magic.
Aslan? Oh, Aslan!
Aren't you dead then, dear Aslan?
Not now.
You're not a ghost.
Come close to me. Feel my mane. Feel the warmth of my breath.
You're real. You're real.
Oh, Aslan. But what does it all mean?
It means that though the witch knew the deep magic, there is a magic deeper still which she did not know. Her knowledge goes back only to the dawn of time. But if she could have looked a little further back into the stillness and the darkness before time dawned, she would have read there a different incantation. She would have known that when a willing victim who had committed no treachery was killed in a traitor's stead, the table would crack and death itself would start working backwards. She has won her heart's desire. She has unwearying strength and endless days like a goddess. But length of days with an evil heart is only length of misery, and already she begins to know it. All get what they want. They do not always like it.
I nearly ate one myself, Aslan. Would I have...
You would, child, for the fruit always works. It must work. But it does not work happily for any who pluck it at their own will. If any Narnian, unbidden, had stolen an apple and planted it here to protect Narnia, it would have protected Narnia, but it would have done so by making Narnia into another strong and cruel empire like Charm. Not the kindly land I mean it to be. And the witch tempted you to do another thing, my son, did she not?
Yes, Aslan. She wanted me to take an apple home to my mother.
Understand, then, that it would have healed her. But not to your joy or hers. The day would have come when both you and she would have looked back and said it would have been better to die in that illness.
But, Aslan, what am I going to do about my mother?
That is what would have happened, child, with a stolen apple. It is not what will happen now. What I give you now will bring joy. It will not in your world give endless life, but it will heal. Go, pluck her an apple from the tree.
You want me to? I mean, can I?
Yes.
Thank you, Aslan. Now, please, may we go home? We still have the rings.
You need no rings when I am with you. You do not yet look so happy as I mean you to be.
We're so afraid of being sent away, Aslan. And you've sent us back into our own world so often.
No fear of that. Have you not guessed?
We have our hopes, Aslan. But what should we have guessed?
There was a real railway accident. Your father and mother and all of you are, as you used to call it in the Shadowlands, dead. The term is over. The holidays have begun. The dream is ended. This is the morning.
And as he spoke, he no longer looked to them like a lion. But the things that began to happen after that were so great and beautiful that I can't tell them. And for us, this is the end of all the stories. And we can most truly say that they all lived happily ever after. But for them, it was only the beginning of the real story. All their life in this world and their adventures in Narnia had only been the cover and the title page. Now, at last, they were beginning chapter 1 of the great story, which no one on earth has read, which goes on forever, and in which every chapter is better than the one before.